Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Ipswich Town Matchday live show. As today we say hello to Arsenal under 21s in Papa John's action. The epitome of excitement. I'm absolutely sure you will all agree. So we're here this evening to try and just help you through. We've got a pre-game show, we've got the post-game show. We'll try and put a bit of meat on the bone. We'll try and put a bit of pepperoni on the pizza and just see how it goes. It's a strong lineup. We'll get through that in just a second. But we've got Stephen Parry. Welcome in, man. Hope you're good. Josh Russell is here. Evening all strong lineup. So should really be getting the win. Yep. It's a strong lineup. We'll get to that. Nathan, welcome in. Nathan, hope you're well. Hopefully our fitness gets us through against athletic youngsters. Expect pace, which is horrible to defend. Mr. Chandler is here, obviously, after that debut on Sunday. Absolutely brilliant debut from Mr. Chandler. Not yet seen it. Head back to the Wednesday reaction and check it out. Work for Lutterworth. Good evening. Hope you're well. Everybody in the chat, love it. Oh, and thank you all so much for nominating us as one of your finalists in the FCA Best Podcast Award, Football League, of course, on behalf of myself and of all of the contributors that have appeared throughout the year. Thank you very much for your vote. We just now need, hopefully, who knows, if you vote again, we could go on and have a good night. But it's in Manchester. I don't know what's going on yet in terms of who's going, but I just want to say thank you, and thank you. Right, on to its own cup action of itself. Right, joining me this evening is none other than a man that you all love, all adore, Mr. Neil Moles, positivity himself. How you doing, big man?
Hello. Yeah, pretty good.
Good. Welcome, one and look at that. You've got the town shirt, Neil. Like normally in the high vis, but not this week. You've come prepared. You've got the town shirt on.
No, it was at the top of the pile in the wardrobe. So as I was packing to go, I just popped it in.
Oh, okay. Love it. That must be around the sort of time just after we were playing tonight's opponents for real. You know, in an actual league game as opposed to they're on the 21 team, right?
Are you thinking when we had Tamas Priskin?
No, I'm thinking that must have been the start of the Royal days where we've literally just come down.
I got 17 on the back.
Dean Bowditch, yes, yeah. Of course, Mr. Dean Bowditch himself. So, I mean, you're a fan of years like me. You've seen, us play the Arsenal main team. How are you feeling about tonight's game? Is what I'm going to ask you.
It's always a kick in the teeth that we're playing the under 21s rather than the real team, but we're having a good season so far, and I'm just hoping it continues and we can get back on track.
Yeah, well, this is it. Hopefully, the way the season started, this will be the last time we could play. But there we go. Tonight's lineup then, Neil, is as follows: Haladki, Vincent Young, Keogh, Edmondson, Edwards, Ball, Humphreys, Davis, Chaplin, Harness, and Big Freddie Ladapo. Where do you want to start with that one, Mr. Moles? Because I suppose from my perspective, looking with one eye to Sunday, Plymouth on Sky, no Wesley Burns because he is obviously with Wales, or Wales, shall I say. Kyle Edwards got a huge opportunity tonight, hasn't he, to really stake a claim and, make Kieran McKenna's mind a little bit more tougher.
He can. I'm still not convinced. He's almost one of those where he doesn't even know what he's doing, so how can anyone else know?
Oh, I'm sure many at home, and including myself probably, that's it harsh. I think he does. I mean, last time out, obviously against Northampton, he was brilliant. 3 assists in the end, I think it was. Maybe 4.
Yeah, I know everyone else raved about his performance. He just done what was necessary for me.
You didn't. So you weren't a fan of his performance last time out against Northampton, or was it an expected performance for somebody who should be on the fringes of the first team?
Precisely that.
I mean, obviously, Vincent Young also plays this evening. He could be in store for the call up on Sunday. Is another big chance for him tonight? Because somebody has to play right side of midfield on Sunday, Neil. Somebody. We don't know who that may be, but somebody has to play there. you've got two players who arguably, alongside Cade and Jackson, would have been given that possible opportunity to have it tonight to showcase their ability. Vincent Young, is it him maybe you're looking at to fill that role?
We haven't really seen that much of Vincent Young this season. I think he still has something to offer us, but I believe it's in these games only at the moment. He is just pushed out of the team by better players, really.
Who would you be looking to go for on Sunday then, in terms of filling the Burns role?
Well, for me, out of that lot, I could see Harness one side and Edwards the other. So if it'd be one out of those two, really.
Yeah, we've got Richard Chandler. I think Edwards plays well tonight and then finally gets the nod in the league game under McKenna. Stephen Parry says, harsh that, Neil. Was a good game last game. He did what was needed. You can't ask for more than that. What are your thoughts on that one? He did what was needed. He can't ask more than that. It's a fair point.
Yeah, I agree entirely. As I say, I'm not slating his performance. I'm just not raving it like some others are.
Yeah, I think consistency has been a big problem for Carl Edwards. This is another chance. Again, albeit it's not 2 games in a row, but it's another chance tonight to put a consecutive Papa John's game together, isn't it? If he comes out there tonight and performs as he did the first match day round 1, it's going to be a real situation for McKenna to at least take notice.
Yeah, no offense to Northampton, but this will be more of a game. If he shows up to this one, then yeah, we can start paying attention to it.
Good evening, Mr. Kelly. Hope you're well. Neil, KVY or Edwards on Sunday? Stephen, Edwards, Jackson, Harness, KVY, all possibilities. Stephen, just list the whole squad, my man. It'll be easier. Everyone's a possibility.
I see Vincent Young as more of a right back, not a right midfielder.
Yeah,
so he would just be doing like Davis, that they're just playing that wide of defence role rather than a wide midfielder.
I think that's probably fair to say. I think with Davis but certainly KVY, you get more of a defense. I need to sound an American there. You can tell I watch American football and a lot of
defense.
American film study. You get a lot of more defense. I can't say it without saying it. I can't do it. You get more defense from KVY than offense, but with Burns, you get more going forward than you do perhaps necessarily going backwards, isn't it? It's fair to say.
Yeah, I guess if you're not looking for that player to absolutely drive the ball down the wing each time, and you're doing more of a, say, pass and go, and because KVY's got legs on him, so you could always do the old 1-2 and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. I've been watching the NFL for double-digit years, many years, too many years to even count. Joining us this evening is the Fisherman to complete the lineup. Here he is, standing in for Steve. Steve, we hope you are well. Look after yourself, my man. Mike, welcome in. Papa John's, your first match day Papa John's with us. How are you feeling ahead of this one? Arsenal into town, mate, but it's the reserves.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineup. I quite like the lineup, if I'm honest. I think it's quite attacking. I think, it's not a bad lineup, is it, really?
It's not a bad lineup. We're just discussing the right-hand side. Obviously, on Sunday, live on Sky, Plymouth, we are doing a matchday ticket for it. Wes Burns is with the Welsh international team. So somebody has to play the Wesley Burns role. Caden Jackson did it at Burton. Perhaps he's the man that we're filling it away at Plymouth because he's not in the team tonight. Or maybe a Vincent Young or an Edwards can step forward and emerge and really take the shirt on for themselves. Where are you on it? Who's going to be playing the right side for you, and who needs a big game to put themselves in that conversation?
I think I heard Neil obviously saying that you see KVY as more of a right back, but I don't. I see him more as an attacking winger. I think he can do that Burns role quite well. Whenever he's played that role, where he is now, hopefully he'll play that tonight. He does get forward. He really does get forward and put himself into. I mean, last time he got forward, I mean, there was a blatant foul and a penalty. I do not know. So for me, I love him in that role. I think he's got pace to burn. I'm not as convinced as a defender at all, to be honest. I think he's got the potential to be a good winger. or that sort of, right wing back role that Burns plays. And the good thing about KVY is I think he's better defensively than Burns. Burns is definitely not he's got no defensive ways about him. But whereas KVY obviously can play that role, but I think that if that was me, I'm not Kieran McKenna, but if that was me, I'd play him Saturday. I think he would cause. I think on that right hand side with Donassin, I think he'd cause a lot of problems.
So if you'd go with KVY, does that mean tonight Edwards needs a really good game tonight to really put himself into the thoughts?
Absolutely, Edwards has got to have another. Look, he played well last time he played. He played well. His final ball lets him down a little bit. Although he got, like I said, I know he got a couple of assists last time. We got an assist. Do you know what I mean? I think Edwards for me. Look, there's a huge potential there, and if he can sort out his final ball, I think he's got great ability. I think he's one for the future. Right now, I'm not so certain that he's ahead of KVY, to be honest. And I wouldn't have said that a year ago. KVY for me, came back after his injury and he wasn't great, was he? Let's be fair. But I've seen him a few times now coming off the bench and playing in these cup competitions. And look, he's done well. I'm gutted I can't be there tonight. Are you? Really? Yeah, I am actually, because it's a Tuesday night and I normally can get to the games, but unfortunately, because obviously, look, it was a Queen's funeral yesterday, so my wife normally works on a Monday. It means I do a school run on a Monday, which means I get a free Tuesday. But unfortunately, I had to do a school run and didn't get back to 4:45. So the time I got back to 4:45 and, stuff like that, I'd never had enough time to get to Kesgrave, pick my brother up and get to the game.
You might catch me at Wembley, Mike, but you're not catching me at an Arsenal. I'm getting a bit of stick from Womble for calling it Arsenal reserves. I'm old enough to remember reserve league. This is the reserves to me, but Arsenal under 21s to give it its correct name. This is a nonsense, Mike. Absolute nonsense. Look, let's be straight, right? Years ago, it used to be the combination league, didn't it? You used to have your reserve side or your players that weren't in the first team or not getting enough first team would play in that combination league, and it was quite competitive. And the only competitive games we're going to, you can play friendlies behind closed doors, but friendlies we all know are not competitive. They're more about sort of, just having a run out and get fit. Whereas, these little cup competitions are an ideal opportunity for fringe players and sort of under 23s, under 21s, even the odd under 18 can come in. Kieran McKenna can look at them, play them. The end of the day is, look, we know our priority. Our priority is to get out of this league. Absolutely. And but at the same time, if you've got these games, let's play these fringe players. I'm a bit surprised that there's a lot more of our first teamers playing tonight, but. Well, I am, yeah, but that is what McKenna did in the first match day, Neil. He brought Harness in, he brought other first team players in. McKenna certainly, unlike other previous town managers, Neil, has certainly treated this cup with a lot of respect and desire to go through from the groups. You can't say anything different, really.
No. To be fair, though, if we didn't put a team out like this, I think that the Arsenal under-21s are more than capable of, rolling our absolute youngsters over. As good as our academy may or may not be, I just believe that after seeing Arsenal under-21s other seasons, that they're enough of a match for what we've shown, compared to our first team of previous years. Obviously, last year, Neil, we sat here with a matchday ticket and we were 2-0 up, ended up drawing the game 2-2 and losing on penalties. So you're absolutely right what you say there. They are good enough. Lots of chat coming through. I want to get your thoughts on one particular thing in just a moment. Neil, Richard said, I'm agreeing more and more with the fisherman I find recently. Is it because I'm getting old? I love Richard. He's great. A good warm-up game for Sunday. Gov, look at the positives. See, I never replied in the chat to that, but I'll say it on the show. Me personally, I preferred my first team players to have a good solid week of training with the right rest, the right tactical approach,
Just fully on that, fully zoned in Monday to Friday, really drilling it for Sunday, because Sunday is the bread and butter for me. But as he also says, Mike, treat it as a training session. Then absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Why not? You've got to play it, because that's where we find ourselves as a football club. So go to win it, as Kieran quite rightly has done so here. A comment here, Neil, which one I want to get your thoughts on, was about Dominic Ball and Humphreys. Somebody harps, if Ball is playing a blinded, he will be in contention against Plymouth. If yes, who's to replace? And also, I am looking forward to seeing Dominic Ball and Humphreys in the midfield today. Are you looking forward to seeing Ball and Humphreys and what they may bring against Arsenal today?
I'm looking forward to it, yes. I like Humphreys as a player. I know there was it against Colchester, he missed a few, what I would say, chances that should really be, putting away. But putting that aside, I think he's a tidy player and is starting to improve his performances, and hopefully he'll make a good stamp on trying to push his way into the first team. As for Ball,
sorry, go on.
No, you can step in there.
No, I was asked the Fishman, because I know he's a big fan of Humphreys, and you've really thought quite well about him there, Neil. How about you, Fisherman? Look forward to seeing Humphreys tonight?
Yeah, I love the look of this player. I know obviously Downs has gone up to higher league and done well, but for me personally, I think Humphreys has got far more potential. I really do. What I like about him, and that's why I've always taught whenever with my youth players and that, I've always said, look, even my kids, my boy Daniel, Jake, if you're going to get the ball, get your head up if you can before you receive it, or as soon as you receive it, to look for that next pass or to see what space there is in front of you to run into. And Humphreys does that with abundance. He's already scouting around. He's one of these players that sort of looks around before, if he knows he thinks he's going to get the ball, he's looking around to see who's available. And I think when you've got a player like that at the age of how old is he? 18? 19?
He is 19, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You think, what's he going to be like at sort of 23, 24? And yeah, what Mike D says is bang on. He always looks to want to play it forward. And that sometimes Lee Evans can be a little bit guilty of sideways passing. But again, and Chaplin gives the ball away, still giving the ball away too many times, and yet he comes up with a bag full of goals for us. So he's just undroppable. And I did call for Humphreys to jump in Chaplin's place, and I got it wrong. I'm not going to say I didn't. But at the end of the day, Humphreys for me is definitely one for this future, and we need to keep hold of him. I think he's a very, very good quality midfielder.
Where do you think his best position is? Because I know others consider him more of a central midfielder than attacking midfield.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a holding midfielder. It kind of reminds. Look, it's a big shout, I know. Jim Magilton used to.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you? Were you meaning him?
Yeah, Jim Magilton used to be. That was what made Jim. He had no real pace about him, but he could place a ball on a dime. He was scouting the pitch before he received the ball. He knew where players were on that pitch before the players did. Sometimes, And Humphreys, he's got a long way to go to get anywhere near Jim Magilton's standard, but the boy's got huge potential, and if he reaches it, he's going to be a class midfielder. And like I say, Neil, I think he's not an attacking midfielder, but he's not a defensive midfielder. He is a middle of the park midfielder, old school, if you want to look at it, creative, and like I said, because he's always looking for that forward pass and that through ball, and even at the end, trying to get himself in the box. And yeah, look, he missed a couple. But I mean, no disrespect, but you're playing at Bournemouth Road at 19 years old, crikey. I think, unless the luck's going for you, there's a good chance you are going to miss a few. But I hope he has a good game.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. What about Ball, Neil? You're going to mention some Ball thoughts?
Yeah, he's looked good a few times we've seen him. And yeah, as long as he keeps going like that, I think he is pushing on a first team, spot. Even though our midfielder doing really well at the moment in the league, it might well come down to Knox and injuries and things for him to squeeze his way in. But yeah, we'll see. Just as long as he keeps performing.
Yeah, Steve Parry makes a good point. Yeah, I actually think he could be a box-to-box midfielder. If he's got the fitness, hasn't he? He's, maybe that. Yeah, but Jimmy Gilton wasn't a box-to-box, was he? That was
with
Holland.
With where I saw him pop up on the edge of the box for the shots that he didn't put away, it was more of a Tommy Miller. Reminded me of that sort of thing where he just appeared on the edge of the box like Tommy used to.
There's some great players in that role over the years. Yeah, Tommy Miller being one of them. So you wouldn't exactly classify him as his modern term of a deep line playmaker. Then very much in the mould of something like an Andre Dezelle or Majul. We could argue was a deep line playmaker.
Humphreys is miles ahead of Dezelle. I'm sorry.
I wasn't comparing the two. It was more of a player role.
I think Dezelle's a different type of player than Humphreys. But there's times when Dezelle can play a pass and look for that pass and it comes off. But then, like you say, you end up with Hollywood passes and they end up going all over the place. Whereas Humphreys, I think his passing ratio the last time he played was phenomenal. He just lacked that. Like I said, sneak in on the edge of the box. He's a kind of I wouldn't want to play. I want to as a right back. Or even as a defensive midfielder, I wouldn't want to play against him because I just think he's a little bit unpredictable. You can't predict where he's going to put the ball, and there's nothing harder to play against than a player that can sneak up on you, can split your midfield or defence in two. And I think, look, like I said, I know he's 19, he's young, and I don't want to make him too big-headed, but I think he's got huge potential, and. I hope the boy reaches it. I really do, because from what I've seen, so far, I'm really impressed with him.
I think this will be a good test for him coming up against these boys.
But it would be a great test. What we'll say is it almost a little bit in agreement with what Callie just says here. To be fair, how can Humphreys be ahead of Dezelle when Andre's in the Championship and Humphreys is not in the League One squad? No need to come back to it.
That's his opinion. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm
not going to come back to it. I wasn't trying to
I'm not even going to bother with a reply because he's looking for bites, and I'm not going to bite.
I wasn't trying to compare the two players. It was more their player role. Norman asked, could Humphreys be the long-term replacement for Morsey?
There are slight similarities, but I think Morsey is a lot more dogged than Humphreys.
Yeah, Morsey's that quality shithouse, as we call him, isn't he? He is that quality shithouse. There's no two ways about him. Like I said, at first I wasn't overly impressed, but when you just can't have him out of the side. He is that. Yeah, I think Humphreys is. Maybe got similar qualities to Morsey when it comes to the ball. I think Humphreys, if he can finish, he'll be a better finisher than Morsey, because Morsey, unfortunately, is not a natural finisher, is he? And obviously, the debate over the 10 goals this year will go on for the season. But I think Humphreys is slightly, I don't think he's that kind of shithouse midfielder that Morsey is. And you need that type of midfielder in this league. Although he didn't really shine that well on Saturday, did he? For which, look, we're everybody's allowed a bad game, everybody's allowed a poor game, and it's better to just have one than loads.
Okay, we've got 4 minutes left. I want to just quickly discuss the league table as it stands. Let me just find it. I had it here a second ago. We are currently top of our group, which is obviously a really nice place to be. Here it is. Bish, bash, bosh. Here we go. Right. So there we are. Top of the table. Arsenal in second. We've both got 3 points apiece. This is a great chance, Neil, to sort of go on and make a real strong case for qualification tonight, isn't it?
Yeah. We want to win, really, don't we? Because anything less than that leaves us open for issues. But yeah, it'll be a good one, and see what happens.
How important is this cup to you, Mike? Are you desperate to go through from the groups?
For the players, for players' development, I'd love to go through because I think it'd do well for players' development. My worry is if we start and get into like the semi-final and the final, we're going to start playing our full strength side.
Which you would do, of course, surely.
Yeah, you would. But for me, look, I'd happily get to the quarter, and that gives our youth players, not youth players, but our sort of development players and
your Humphreys,
your Humphreys, them type players. Give them a chance to have a bit of a cup run. That's just because, like I said, it's important that they I'd love a cup run as well, FA Cup run, but I'm not bothered about it. For me, we can concentrate on that when we're in the Championship. Right now, I just want us out of League One because, again, watching that refereeing decisions at the weekend and the linos, and it's just constant drivel from the officials, and some of the football again ain't great from our position. We need to be playing in a higher league. We got the players, we got the manager, we got the setup now. So for me, look. Go as far as we can with the reserve side, shall we say, and then concentrate on the league.
Perfect. Right, bold prediction time then ahead of tonight's Arsenal under-21s Papa John's group game. Neil, your bold prediction, please, for this evening. Scores, scorers, etc.
4-2.
Who's scoring your goals? 4-2. Who's your goal scorers?
Ladapo. I think Jackson will come on and get one.
Ooh.
I think Harness will get one, and Chaplin.
Mike?
I'm going 3-1 Ipswich. And I do honestly think we'll get 3 goals. I think Humphreys will score tonight. Chappers, hopefully he'll have a better game than he did the weekend and maybe bang one in. I'd like to see Ladapo bang another goal in. Just to try and get some motivation out of the boy, just get out there and, but I'm going 3-1. Look, I think Arsenal will score. They're good enough to score goals. It could be 3-1, 3-2. I think we'll win, but I think we'll get 3 goals.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go 1-0. It's going to be a Tyrese John Jules winner, because that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Right, we're back at full time. The moment the full time whistle goes, join us. Mike and Neil will give you their thoughts in addition to a live link, live chat. Get involved. But until full time, enjoy the game, and we'll see you.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down low and I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you.